Before the Tyrannosaurus roamed the forests, and velociraptors stalked their prey in packs, there was a creature that defied our understanding of what a dinosaur could be. It wasn't just another predator. It was something entirely different. A bizarre and ancient apex predator. Its existence challenged our entire perception of prehistoric life. This is the fascinating untold story of Spinosaurus, the river monster of the Cretaceous. Spinosaurus were a fascinating dinosaur, part of the theropod group, which includes famous predators like Tyrannosaurus rex. It lived in northern Africa during the late Cretaceous period, about 100 to 95 million years ago. The name Spinosaurus means spine lizard, referring to its long, tall neural spines that formed a sail reaching up to 7 feet in height, one of the most striking features of this dinosaur. When it comes to the species, there are 2 known types of Spinosaurus: Spinosaurus aegyptiacus from Egypt and Spinosaurus maroccanus from Morocco. Spinosaurus was massive, growing up to 50 feet long and possibly weighing as much as 22 tons. This made it larger than the T-Rex in size. What makes Spinosaurus even more unique is its appearance. Paleontologist Thomas Hoytz has called Spinosaurus bizarre-looking, even by dinosaur standards, because it had a mix of traits that allowed it to live both on land and in water. However, despite what we know, much of its story remains a mystery. The fossils we have are incomplete, making it hard for scientists to fully understand how they lived. This has led to many debates and discoveries along the way. The story of Spinosaurus began in 1912, when German paleontologist Ernst Stromer von Reichenbach led an expedition to the Bahariya Oasis in Egypt, about 230 miles southwest of Cairo. He was joined by his assistant Richard Markgraf. Despite facing major challenges like outbreaks of cholera and the rising tension of World War I, they made a groundbreaking discovery. Markgraf unearthed partial remains of a strange new dinosaur, including pieces of the jaw, vertebrae, and the tall neural spines that would later become Spinosaurus's most recognizable feature. Just a few years later in 1915, Stromer officially named the new dinosaur Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, inspired by its sail-like back that made it stand out as a towering predator. To put this in context, paleontology was still a relatively young science at the time. The word dinosaur itself had only been coined in 1842, and serious scientific interest in dinosaurs didn't truly gain momentum until the 1970s. But the excitement didn't last. Decades later, tragedy struck. In 1944, during World War II, British bombers destroyed the Munich Paleontological Museum, where Stromer's Spinosaurus fossils were kept. Stromer, known for speaking out against the Nazi regime, had repeatedly warned the museum's Nazi-affiliated director to move the fossils to a safer location. Sadly, his warnings were ignored, and the only known remains of Spinosaurus were lost forever. What remained was silence. For many years after the bombing, Spinosaurus existed only in Stromer's old sketches and notes, a ghost in the history of dinosaurs. The mystery of Spinosaurus began to unravel in the 1990s and 2000s, thanks to new fossil discoveries across North Africa, in Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. One of the richest fossil sites was Morocco's Kemkem Beds, a region of red sandstone left behind by an ancient river system. This area quickly became a treasure trove for dinosaur hunters and paleontologists alike. Throughout this fossil boom, local fossil hunters, often working in a gray area of the fossil trade, uncovered bones that would eventually reshape our understanding of Spinosaurus. In 2008, a Moroccan fossil hunter showed paleontologist Nizar Ibrahim bones he had collected years earlier. These turned out to be part of a Spinosaurus. This discovery reignited interest in the elusive predator. Intrigued, Ibrahim returned to Morocco, and by 2013, working alongside the Natural History Museum of Milan, his team uncovered a partial skeleton in the Kemkem Beds. The remains included vertebrae, parts of the limbs, and more. For the first time in nearly a century, scientists had new material to study. These fossils gave researchers their clearest look yet at Spinosaurus. It had a 6-foot-long skull shaped like a crocodile's, thick and heavy bones, and a broad, paddle-like tail, clues that pointed to a semi-aquatic lifestyle. This changed everything. Unlike other theropods that walked and hunted mostly on land, Spinosaurus seemed built for both land and water. With its unusual anatomy coming into focus, paleontologists began to rethink how this ancient predator lived and where it truly ruled. Spinosaurus thrived in the vast river systems of North Africa, particularly in the Kem group, an area teeming with aquatic life such as sawfish, lungfish, and coelacanths. This lush environment provided the perfect hunting ground, and Spinosaurus was well equipped for the job. Its long, crocodile-like snout and conical teeth were ideal for gripping slippery prey. Supporting this, oxygen isotope studies of its teeth revealed similarities to modern crocodiles and turtles, pointing to a semi-aquatic lifestyle. But Spinosaurus wasn't limited to fish. Fossil evidence suggests a more varied diet. A pterosaur bone with a Spinosaurus tooth embedded in it, along with partially digested dinosaur remains found in Spinosaurid fossils, indicates that it also scavenged or hunted land-dwelling creatures. As for how it hunted, scientists propose two main theories. One is the wading model, which suggests Spinosaurus stood in shallow water, ambushing prey at the surface. However, this view shifted dramatically in 2018, with the discovery of a flexible paddle-like tail in Morocco, suggesting that it may have been an active swimmer pursuing prey in deeper waters. Additionally, its dense bones likely aided in underwater stability, while fast tooth replacement hints at a diet that included armored or tough prey. Altogether, these traits make Spinosaurus the most aquatic dinosaur ever discovered, an apex predator, uniquely adapted to dominate ancient rivers. Spinosaurus's sail was formed by spines up to 7 feet tall, which remains one of the most debated features in paleontology. Likely covered in skin, it gave the dinosaur a striking profile. Paleontologist Nizar Ibrahim suggests that the sail was used for display and possibly to attract mates or assert dominance, even in murky water environments. On the other hand, Jack Bowman Bailey proposed in 1997 that the spine supported a fatty hump for energy storage or thermoregulation. However, this idea conflicts with evidence showing Spinosaurus lived in lush river-filled habitats, where fat storage may not have been necessary. Other scientists argue the sail may have helped exaggerate its size to intimidate rivals or predators. It's also possible the sail had multiple purposes: to display, intimidation, and maybe even some role in regulating body temperature. Despite these theories, no single explanation is definitive. Spinosaurus entered the spotlight in Jurassic Park 3, 2001, where it famously defeated a Tyrannosaurus Rex in a controversial scene. While cinematic, this portrayal sparked backlash from both fans and paleontologists. At the time, the film's depiction of Spinosaurus as a bipedal, land-based predator reflected early scientific assumptions. However, as research evolved, so did our understanding. New fossil evidence now points to a semi-aquatic lifestyle with shorter hind limbs and a body posture suggesting it may have walked on all 4 legs, very different from its on-screen portrayal. Spinosaurus's legacy reflects the evolution of science itself. From Ernst Stromer's early 20th century discoveries to Nizar Ibrahim's modern breakthroughs, each find reshapes its story. Once a mysterious figure in paleontology, Spinosaurus now stands as a symbol of African scientific progress. Morocco plans to open its first National Museum of Natural History with Spinosaurus at its heart, an icon of African science, meant to inspire future generations and preserve fossils locally. Spinosaurus is still a captivating mystery, blending traits of both land and water predators. With each new discovery, such as possible webbed feet and newly found Spinosaurid relatives, our understanding continues to evolve.